I have had the privilege of being the friend and neighbour of Marion Cumming for the last couple of decades. I live just down the hill from Marion, and as Marion got older and had created such a community around her and such a beautiful community in Oak Bay with a sensitivity to preserving both the natural environment and the First Nations heritage, I got together with a member of her church to talk about how we could work with Marion to create a circle of care around her so that she could stay in her home as long as she lived. And so we came together with Marion and sat down and talked about what that might look like. And then Marion just was so astute in realizing that a circle of care called home care, home share, or home share, home care actually, the other way around, was a beautiful metaphor that she felt was appropriate.
Well, my name is Marion Cumming, and I'd like to express gratitude for being a guest on Lekwungen land here. I love that thought of community, of care, and that the Creator is blessing everything there is and was and will be. And that brings about a wonderful unity and a caring spirit. And in spite of all the challenges that seem to exist, there just has to be a way of everyone coming together and finding common ground. And I'm just so thankful to so many of you for helping this awakening spirit. And in spite of what is called a lockdown and a pandemic, it's a way of people thinking more deeply of what really matters in life. I love this thought that some of us have come to call home share, home care. And it means that the ways can be found for widows like me, or even a family, to think in terms of opening up their home. And I love the thought of a shared kitchen. You don't have to have a separate tenancy, really. To think first of the sharing, and then the just sort of, I guess, almost effortlessly, if there's a lot in common to begin with, then whoever lives in with an affordable rent in mind that is able to express their own caring spirit. And I found it's just so beautiful to see how different tenants adapt in different ways. Now that Taylor's here and interested in permaculture, we'll learn more from Taylor about how to respect water in ways that can be, water can be saved with more rain barrels for use during the drought season. So we're all on a learning curve in wonderful ways. And I think of it was Steve Bowker who said he thinks there are 3,000 widows in Oak Bay. And I think some of these widows would just love to have a companion who could settle in, that someone with common interests who'd be willing to help out, say, with grocery shopping and maybe cooking and possibly a bit of gardening. And it would be a beautiful way to share a home that needs some loving care and companionship.
Hair and makeup.
Yeah,
Hair
make sure
and
everything's
makeup.
on point. Yeah.
You're fired.
So I'm relatively new to Vancouver Island, and I have been trying to find the place that I like to call home while I've been here, because I had an interest in permaculture and regenerative agriculture, and also community living and how that all ties together. Since the pandemic happened, it's taken me on a bit of a journey, and now I'm finding myself doing courses for creative writing. And now I'm living here with Marion Cummings. It's a beautiful way to enhance my learning journey. Living here with Marion, I find, has been very rewarding, even in the small amount of time I've been here. She's such an amazing woman, and she has so much experience in her life, and a lot of that has been harbored in this household, and the house is really a reflection of who she is and the amazing life that she's lived. And I think it's important that she's connected to it and can continue her journey kind of being connected to this space. So I'm happy to come in and first of all, I get to learn from this amazing human being and learn from her experiences and her wisdom. And at the same time, I can be there for those moments that she may need extra assistance. I love to come and sit with her at dinner time, and she tells me her stories, and she has such amazing perspectives. And I think it's important just different people bringing their different pieces together to form something bigger than all of us having to kind of come up with everything we need in a lifetime and try to make it by just on our own. When we all bring our pieces together and work together, then we can then we're all benefiting from it, and all of our lives are more prosperous.
I'm Kathleen Arneson. I'm staying and living and growing and sharing a home with Marion Cumming at this time of my life. You know, when you think about and talk about a caring circle, I mean, it's hard not to think about the loop in a weaving, something that you're weaving. And I think that women do this really well. Marion's Circle of Care. Well, now that's a whole other story. We can sit and talk for 3 hours at the dinner table between all of the things that Marion and I have in common, between working with Indigenous people, being artists, being writers, being women. There's just not a day goes by that we don't have some sort of conversation that lifts us up. It's been a lot of fun. I've learned so much from Marion, and I think that, you know, what she reflects back to me is believing in myself. You know, she'll go, "What you're writing is fantastic. I love it." And then I'll read something to her. I go, "Oh, can I read you part of the chapter?" And she never has said no. And then at the end of sharing that, I walk away thinking, okay, this is good. I can keep going. And yeah, I mean, even to the difference between our menus that we eat. It's okay, you know, to be a carnivore and a vegetarian. And yet at the same time, I'm almost turning into a vegetarian. So it's quite fun. And it is a pleasure and an honor, because she's an elder and our hair is the same color. So I have a reflection of my own growth towards the other end of the sphere of life, where I go, you know, it's really important for me to encourage and respect all young people, which I do, and all people anyway, because there is not a person that walks through Marion's door that I think exits doesn't feeling loved. Yeah, it's a pretty exciting time. COVID's been good for me. I have 3 books that I've written in 1 year. So I guess my environment is pretty supportive. So I'm pretty happy where I am and excited. excited for what the future brings, and every day I'm excited for every single day. So yes, caring and living and being around an elder, around somebody as loving and as wise as Marion Cumming. Yeah, I'm a lucky person. I got to do this in my life.